Yeah, we have so much to talk about. I don't know where to begin. We're just going to go with it. What's up, everyone? My name is Jet. Welcome back to episode of MDK Racing Victory Stop. The final race of the round of 8 has just concluded under extreme, controversial, shady, just overall very gray finish that we need to talk about here. First off, let's get over the other stuff real quick. What a drive by Ryan Blaney. Unbelievable championship winning drive. Seems though he was out of it, but he put up an unreal drive in that final stage, really, to get back up to the front. Got by Elliott, had a great battle with Larson. He had the drive to win this race, and he did just that, going 2 in a row at Martinsville. The race, this was the best Martinsville race in the next gen era. Goodyear, they did a really good job, although there still needs to be a lot more work done with it. We're still not there at the level of the Gen 6 era, but still Goodyear, hey, y'all get a thumbs up. Major improvement over the last 5 Martinsville races. But of course, we have to talk about the finish. Let's set the scene. So Byron, he was losing ground on older tires. He was losing positions. He could not lose 2 positions. Christopher Bell, on the other hand, he had a horrible day, made a lot of mistakes. The car was not good, a lot of issues on pit road, and he was a lap down in 19th place. Byron could not lose 2 positions, and in the final laps, he was in position. He then lost another spot, I think, to Denny Hamlin. And then he was in front of the 3 of Austin Dillon and the 1 of Ross Chastain, 2 Chevy drivers. On the other side of the screen, you had Christopher Bell. He needed 1 spot to be able to tie Byron, and Bell would get the tiebreaker because he had a higher finish in the round of 8. On the final lap, Christopher Bell drove into turns 3 and 4, basically almost puts Bubba Wallace in the wall, and then right at the last second, rode the wall. He passed Bubba Wallace for position, even though they were both a lap down. He passed him for position. They tie. Bell breaks the tiebreaker. Bell is in, supposedly. However, NASCAR looking over the footage, it took them, I think maybe, it's 6 o'clock, maybe another 20, 25 minutes, or probably a lot shorter than that. I don't know, but it felt like forever. But they came to the conclusion that Christopher Bell broke a rule, had a safety violation for riding the wall. Remember, that was a rule that NASCAR banned after Ross Chastain did it 2 years ago. You cannot ride the wall. NASCAR viewed that Bell did that. Safety violation. He gets sent to the last driver on the lead lap. Because of that, Byron is in, Bell is out. So this is your championship for Tyler Reddick, Joey Logano, Ryan Blaney with his unreal win today at Martinsville. He's in, and William Byron is in as the 4th championship driver. We have so much to talk about because let's start off with the 20 car of Bell. Did that count as a wall ride? Because what counts as a wall ride? Is it you ride the entire wall? Does it still count if you ride a portion of the wall, if it is for a split second? Does it count if you gain position, if you don't? What constitutes as a wall ride that is warranted enough for a penalty? That is something that I still don't know and no one knows. Number 2, let's talk about Bubba Wallace. Bubba, let's listen to his radio first and then we'll dissect it.
5 back 11, then 10 to the 24. 24 and 20 are separated by a point right now. Sorry, 3 to go at the line, 3. I think I got a tire going down. 10-4, just nurse it home. Hold it up top, coming to the white.
So, according to Bubba saying he thinks he has a tire gone down. Now, he slowed way down, but he was actually, I think, on the final lap, or 2 laps ago, he was right next to William Byron, Ross Chastain, and Austin Dillon, and then fell back so far to when Christopher Bell caught up to him. There was no form of communication that gave to the illusion that, okay, this is a Toyota team order, slow down to help Bell win. I would have liked to know if someone could have checked Bubba's car, if there was a tire going down. It was shady at best. He could have had a tire gone down and just coincidence, but it looked shady. What I think was even worse was what we heard on the 1 car and specifically the 3 car. Take a listen.
Nice and far with the 24 here down there, door. 24 is 1 to the good, 1 point to the good. Down there, even. 6 is lined up with the 3.
You know the deal? Just trying to find him and tell him. Justin, you tell crew chief also clear off.
Out they go!
10-4, does the 1 crew chief know the deal?
Yeah, he should.
So yeah, that does not sound good at all. I mean, Austin Dillon saying, does he know? Does he know the deal? And then his spotter saying, I'm trying to let him know, I'll let him know, whatever. We don't know who he's talking about, but when you say, does he know the deal? Like, that could mean a lot of things. And it was very curious as to how the 1 and the 3 both caught up to the 24 Byron easily, like nothing. But yet, those final 4 or 5 laps, they could not pass him, even though they were so far behind and could eat up Byron's gap. As soon as they got up to him, nothing. They could not do anything. So it is super shady. I feel like it's worse on the 3 side because does he know the deal? That to me gives the illusion that, okay, who is he talking about? If he's talking about Byron, 1000%, that's a form of race manipulation. At least with the 23, it was like, okay, yeah, you couldn't really confirm it. The 20 and the wall ride, again, that's not like he rode, I think, the last 10% of the wall, and he didn't gain any positions. He made the pass on Bubba before he hit the wall. He didn't gain any positions. In fact, he lost ground when he was riding the wall. He was still a second or so slower. So I don't know, like, what do you do? And there was a lot of people that had a lot of words about this. Brad Gazowski said, hopefully this is the what breaks the camel's back on the playoffs. Mark Marr said this is a shit show. I mean, there was no one's happy about this. I'm saying this right now. A lot of backlash on NASCAR because this did not need to happen. I'm sorry. Again, y'all know I don't like the playoffs, but this would not have happened without the playoffs. If this was in the Winston era, hell, or even in the Chase era, all right, you penalize both of them. Okay, then you move on. But no, because this is such like, this is your season on the line, a cutoff line. And I know this happened in 2013 at Richmond with the original Chase era, but still, I feel like now with manufacturer orders being in place, a lot more common in NASCAR nowadays. There have also been many times we've seen this happen in the past. I look at Chase Briscoe, even though that was more team orders. Chase Briscoe and Cole Custer, I think, at the Charlotte Roval back in 2022. I look at Eric Jones and I think Denny Hamlin and maybe another driver at Martinsville in 2020. There's been too many examples of manufacturer orders or team orders in a sense to manipulate the race results ever since this playoff format, elimination format was introduced. So yeah, honestly though, in my eyes, I feel like NASCAR got the call wrong. With Bubba, yes, it was maybe shady at best, but he was nursing that car. If you look at the last few laps, he was slow. I mean, it wasn't like it was all of a sudden, oh wow, he has a tire going down. He was slow a couple laps even before that radio call was made. So I would put less of that on the penalty on the Toyota teams of Bell and Bubba in terms of manipulation. I don't think that was the case. Bell and the wall ride, again, it wasn't. I can't accept that as that's a wall ride. With the 3, does he know the deal? I'm sorry, but that to me, in my eyes, is more blatant than the Toyota teams. With the Chevy teams, because again, the 1 and the 3 were so far back. They caught up to him so quickly. They could have passed him. The 1 of Chastain or the 3 of Dillon had an advantage, had a lane because Byron was hovering the top. Dillon could have gone to the bottom, yet he didn't. I understand you're going to play it safe with a playoff driver, but they played it awkwardly safe. Like too safe almost. The way I viewed it, there was much more manipulation on the Chevy side than on the Toyota side. With the Toyota side, again, it's shady at best with the 23 car because he was nursing that car around. He was. If you look back at at video footage and people at the racetrack, he was nursing that car around. And the 20 with the wall ride, the fact that that's what NASCAR said, that's what determined it, was a safety violation on the 20 car. I can't accept that because there was some shady shit going on with the Chevy side, specifically with the 3 team, because of what he said by saying, "Hey, does he know the deal? I will let him know. Go." Again, it's shady at best for the Toyota team, but for the Chevy team, it seems more blatant. It's so unfortunate because we should have been happy because it was a great race. Like I said, it was the best Martinsville race in the next gen era. So much fun and a huge improvement for short track racing as a whole in the next gen era. And we should be praising Ryan Blaney for that unbelievable drive that he did. Chase Elliott put up a very strong effort as well. It was such a good battle, that last 70 some odd laps. It was so much fun. Instead, we leave this race basically not caring about the race at all and more caring about race manipulation, that 1 point, the type. And I'm just, again, I have a feeling it won't change a thing because I feel like NASCAR wants this, but I hope this creates some change. I hope this creates a change in the playoffs because, again, this isn't the first time that the playoffs has gone under scrutiny in terms of race manipulation. I mentioned a couple examples in the past. This, I feel like, hopefully, maybe I'm being too optimistic, but I'm hoping this changes something because this has happened too many times and all it does is make the sport look like a joke. Okay? Because now no one's talking about the championship. They're only going to be talking about did NASCAR make the right call? Was Bell screwed? Even though, yes, Bell had a horrible race, but don't hate the player, hate the game. You know, he needed that 1 point, did what he had to do to get that 1 point. I can't call that a wall ride. He didn't gain any positions. He lost ground. He was a second slower. He passed Bubba before he hit the wall. At least, again, I go back to that number 3 in-car audio. That, to me, looked and sounded more blatant, especially when Dylan had multiple opportunities to get alongside Byron, and he didn't take it. It sounds more blatant on Chevy's side than on Toyota's side. And I feel like NASCAR didn't make the right call. And that's the worst part about that. No one's going to be talking about the championship. They're all going to be saying about what happened at Martinsville and how NASCAR more likely effed up the call. And say what you want, but we were in a full season points format. We wouldn't have to deal with the damn thing. It's like, okay, fine. You know, penalize Byron, maybe penalize Bell, and then you move on. But no, because it is a season on the line, this is what we get. This is what we get. Either you do this, penalize them both, or penalize neither of them. That's, in my opinion, that should have been the call. Either you penalize both of them, you DQ both of them, regardless, or you let it stand for both teams. But my eyes, Bell got screwed. That's how I look at it. Bell got screwed. But here's the thing. I'm not mad at the manufacturers. I'm not mad at the 3. Nah. Don't hate the player. Hate the game. This system creates all this shit. If we didn't have this system, the manufacturers wouldn't need to do all this shit. Again, this is why the playoffs can never work in NASCAR. There are too many variables. Too many variables that can happen that can change the outcome of a playoff format. Okay, racing is already chaotic in its own right, and you need to have a points format that can balance that. You should not have a points format that just throws kerosene into the freaking fire. Like, it is so frustrating time after time again, seeing how this sport gets dragged through the mud in terms of inconsistent and BS officiating. We have seen it too many times how NASCAR's BS officiating calls have ruined the outcome of races. And now, the most blatant form of stupid officiating that determines a championship. I'm getting so heated, I don't know why, because this happened over and over and over again. And I don't know how many times it's going to get it through NASCAR's thick skull that this playoff format can and will never work in racing. When can it get that through their thick skulls? I have no idea. Anyways, I gotta calm down. What are your thoughts? Yeah, peace.